Hi everyone, Dr. Adrienne Castrovinci with Healthy Living Chiropractic coming to you on this Thursday afternoon for our first February live. So last month we talked all about nutrition. So we talked about detoxing, we talked about what quantum nutrition testing is, we talked about some healthy snacks, we talked about all kinds of parasites. So we covered a lot of different topics last month. If there's anything that you missed and you want to go back and revisit it, please just jump on our page and go ahead. They're all archived there. So, but this month, now that we're into February, we're talking kind of all about the basics of chiropractic. So ultimately I am a chiropractor. I've been a licensed chiropractor now for 19 years and been practicing in my own practice now for 18. So I literally started like when I was 10. But anyway, it's been a long time and I've seen a lot of really awesome things along my career here, and I know that I'll see all kinds of amazing more things. But ultimately, I really wanted to talk about what chiropractic is and really what it is that we're doing. So as a chiropractor, most people look at us as back doctors, which is kind of true, but ultimately we're doctors of the nervous system. So we are a little different than medical doctors. Actually, we're a lot different than medical doctors, but we don't use any drugs, we don't use any surgeries, we don't use any invasive techniques to take things out of the body. We look at how the body can best heal itself naturally. The way that we do that is through the nervous system. So your nervous system is basically made up of your brain, your spinal cord, and all the different nerves that leave that spinal cord and go to all the different parts of the body. So all of the muscles, all of the organs, everything in your body is controlled by these nerves. And messages go from the brain to the nerves all the time and to the organs all the time. And sometimes there are things that can kind of get in the way or can cause some interference, if you will, causing those messages not to go as properly. So we call those subluxations because the brain and the spinal cord are connected by obviously the skull and connected by the spine. So I've got my spine model right here, but you see there's all the different bones of the spine, and those are protecting your spinal column. Also, there's little holes in between each vertebrae. These are called your intervertebral foramen for all the nerdy folks out there. But anyway, they're basically holes in your spine. That's where the nerves come out and they go to the different parts of the body. So generally what can happen is if there's little irritation on those holes, if there's some stretching of that nerve, if there's even just the most gentle pressure on that nerve, it can cause that nerve to not work as well. Okay, so what we do is we look at the body and we evaluate if certain things in certain parts of the body or certain spots on the spine aren't moving as well. That can indicate potentially a problem with where that hole is and how the nerves are connecting to the body. We call that in chiropractic a subluxation. So when the nerves aren't working as well as they should, if the bones aren't moving as well as they should, it can affect how that works, and that can be a negative thing. So what chiropractors do is we go ahead and find those subluxations and then we adjust them or we correct them. So chiropractors, kind of like massage therapists or any sort of body workers, all have different kinds of techniques. I went to Northwestern College of Chiropractic, which is here in Bloomington, Minnesota. Each of the schools kind of have their own little techniques that they teach, and granted, different teachers teach different things. So we're all a little bit different, but what I learned was what's called a manual technique, where I use my hands primarily to evaluate what's going on. I know what normal tissue feels like. I know what abnormal tissue feels like. And throughout my years of practice, I've been able to pick up on kind of what feels different and what feels good. So I can tell just by touching someone what types of things what kinds of adjustments they may need. Oftentimes I use my hands to do my adjustments. I'll do gentle adjustments along the spine. Sometimes I'll use what's called an activator, which is a handheld adjusting device, which there are people that don't like to have the manual adjusting. There are certain populations of people where I refuse to do manual adjusting because it could be contraindicated or potentially could be harmful. So I really take it light with certain populations. And so we use an activator. It's just a little spring-held instrument that causes a little bit of a force. You can put that on the spine, you can put that on any of the joints of the body, and it's a very gentle technique as well. There are some doctors that use other handheld tools called integrators. There are some doctors that use just their hands and you do almost energy work or light pressure. Nonetheless, we do things differently, but we're all after the same goal. The same goal being helping that nervous system work the best it can, remove subluxations, and kind of help the body to do what it's supposed to do naturally, which is heal and and thrive. There's a number of populations I work with. So when I first got out of school, I worked primarily with athletes. I took some additional classes, and I was an athletic trainer at the University of Minnesota, so I had a really strong athletic training background. So I've done a lot of sports chiropractic, and with that, I do a lot of work with the extremities. So oftentimes my patients will say, oh, can you help with this? Oh, I have a shoulder problem. Oh, I have a wrist problem. Oh, I have a thumb problem. The answer is yes. The answer is I will look at anything. I'm not going to say that every doctor does that, but I choose to. Basically, the body's all connected. So it doesn't just start at the spine and end at the spine. There's a lot of different joints that are connected that can be a problem. I mean, I had a patient just yesterday who was complaining of pain in their elbow. So yes, of course, we addressed the elbow, looked at the musculature, but also adjust the shoulder and the wrist because those weren't working as well too. So we take a very holistic approach, kind of checking out the whole entire body, not just the point of pain. So if you're ever wondering, hey, can chiropractic fix that? We can definitely try. So if there's things that you're wondering, like if there's certain things you're experiencing, give us a call. I'd love to see what I can do to help. Another population that we work with are kids. We're going to do our own special talk just on kids throughout this month, but I have some training in pediatrics and pregnancy, and I do a lot of work with newborns, and I don't use the thrusting with the baby. I use a really gentle, just fingertip almost pressure with babies, and I've seen some amazing results with children. I had one baby yesterday who was really tight. Her nervous system is super tight. Her spine her head is kind of turned. Body was super tight. We did some cranial work, which is kind of releasing the head just so gently. And all of a sudden her body and her hands just started opening up. So that was a sign that her nervous system was relaxing. That is chiropractic, my friends, is calming that nervous system down, doing what it's supposed to do so the body can heal. You can't heal if you're stressed. So it was amazing. So, yeah, so we talked about subluxation and what it is. We talked about how the body works. We talked about what we do as chiropractic. Basically what we do is we're looking at trying to help the body naturally using the spine as kind of the main avenue and the main vehicle. I do a lot of work with hips and pelvis and feet and you name it. So I guess I just wanted to share that basic overview with you. Wanted to share with you also at the end is that we're doing a special new patient visit bonus deal, if you will, this month. So if you are interested in becoming a new patient, if you have a certain pain or ailment or something that you're just not quite getting addressed properly, would love to see if I can help you. Send us a message, comment to this if you'd like. We're doing our new patient visits for only $47 this month. So it's a really big special. I can't even remember the last time we offered a discount that low. So new patient special, only $47. If you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to me. I hope you guys have an awesome day and have a wonderful Thursday. Bye.